This is how I make my black beans. You can either eat this as a soup, or I like to just mix it with rice. So I'll have my rice at the bottom of my bowl. I throw this on top of it. So right now, there's a bazillion ways to do this. Just one way I do it. I have some regular black beans. I put the whole thing in, including the liquid. The liquid's important. I throw that in, and then I'm going to use 2 cans. The other can that I like to use is Goya black bean soup. Because it has olive oil and some spices and stuff, and I'm just going to pour it in. It's got more liquid too, but after the liquid comes out, if you can see this, it just looks like a can of beans. So it's really not any different. I mean, it hardly looks different. So it's a little more expensive, but I've made it before with just 2 cans of regular black beans, and that works perfectly fine too. If I have a little bit of extra that I want to get in here, I'll take a little bit of my broth. You can use water and just swirl it around. I can get all the excess out. So that's the beans. The beans are in there. I'm going to put this on sort of medium-low right now. So that's the beans that are in there. And then I'm going to show you an option. You don't have to do this, but you can do this if you want more of a soup. Is I'm going to take some of this out of here in just a little cup here, and I'm going to put it in this blender. I'll take 1, 2, a little more. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to puree. I'm just going to puree some of the beans. And it's not pureeing super well because there's not enough liquid in there. So I'll just add a tiny bit of liquid. That's usually enough. Put it back on. That's a puree. Again, this is not necessary. This is like if you want a little more soup-like. So now I've got puree in there. And I want to get all this good stuff that's in there, so I'll take just a tiny bit more broth. You could use water, it doesn't matter. There you go. So that's good. So there. Come closer. You can see when you puree it, you get this. Makes it a little bit thicker. You can puree the whole thing if you want. I worked in a Mexican restaurant. We had our black bean soup was totally pureed. All of it was pureed, so it was completely smooth soup, which was delicious too. And then all I do is I just add stuff to it. So I like to put corn in my black beans soup. So I just throw some corn in there. So there you go. There's some corn, canned corn, perfectly fine. So now I got canned and whatever. Michael hates tomatoes. If he's going to be here, I'm not going to do this. But since he's not, I'm just going to throw some tomatoes. I had a leftover tomato that was kind of on its last legs. I chopped that up, but I also used canned diced tomatoes. Throw those in there as well. I like jalapeno peppers, so I just chop up. I always have these in the fridge, so I chop up some of the peppers. That up there, and then I like that a little. This will be flavorful. These have sodium and stuff, so you probably may not even have to salt them. It's going to be flavorful. It's going to taste good. But what I like to do is I like to heat it up a little bit. And what I do to heat it up is, bear with me. I have these Arbol dried chilies. They're super hot, and so all I do is I took 2 of them out. 2 is going to be plenty for this. Took 2 of them out, and I just tear them up, and with seeds and all, I just tear it up into little tiny pieces. There we go. And I'll do the next one. I don't know if I can do the whole. You know what? I'm gonna. That's fun. The family doesn't like the spicy stuff as much as I do. And there you go. And that's it. You heat it up to medium and enjoy with rice.